You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It is March 30th, 2017. This is another episode of the Impact Implosion Angry Marks Podcast Network. As always, I am Seth Rankin, and on the other end is the dart to my freaking gun, Mike Poland.
At least it's not a smoking gun.
Yeah, it's not a smoke gun, it's a dart gun.
I won't get knocked out by Butterbean.
Yeah, anyway. We have one bit of news, and that's the Hardys. As you know, Anthem is trying to say they own the Broken Universe, and
They don't.
well, the Hardys kind of own it. They've been threatening to, and the Hardys decided this week to fire Shots, which was basically to have the tag titles, dip them in the Lake of Reincarnation, and have the Broken tag titles. So they basically told the TNA, "Yeah, we got you. We're now in. Fuck you." So let's start with the Impact from 2 weeks ago. Well, last week.
Yes.
That I missed because I was recovering. And I still kind of am. We started with an in memoriam to Jan Ross, which was funny because WWE couldn't do the same thing.
Oh, boy.
WWE, almost every one of your wrestlers knew who Jan Ross was. For those of you who don't know, Jim Ross's wife was killed in an accident by a driver who was texting.
Always a good idea.
Always a marvelous idea. So yeah, basically TNA and another company basically paid their respects, but WWE decided not to, except for Daniel Bryan and Triple H on his press conference call.
Yep.
So fuck you, WWE. Just go fuck yourselves. That's all I got to say on that. Pretty quick. I got more Venom later for a certain Raptor that is back.
Oh, boy.
Montage of EC3 versus Patron from last week. Actually, all of last week's show was basically as a what happened last week.
Just in case you forgot.
And yeah, no one knows who the hot tag team champions are. I think everyone knows the Hardys never lost them. You just had to come up with some bullshit. Anymore. So yeah, but basically we start the show with a match, Davey Richards versus Suicide. Come to life.
Suiciding.
Yeah.
I thought I ran him out of here.
Yeah. Angelina Love and Dave Richards are now the Natural Born Killers by their Titantron. And Dave Richards is the lone wolf, as the lone wolf. And you can't really be a lone wolf if your wife is with you.
Nope.
So
this is a showcase for Davey.
This really was funny because he does kiss Angelina and he has the fucking lipstick on him throughout the match. And you're like, Davey, wipe the You're wrestling with lipstick. It's pretty freaking obvious. Dude.
Oh, Davey.
And JB's still going to keep Josh in the dark about She, which we know who it is. It's probably for the best. And it's like, is Davey too confused with his tag partner? And well, they're saying this with his tag partner stuff because it's putting him in confusion, all that shit. And he was kicking Suicide's ass at that point.
Yep.
And then Josh was like, oh, why does everyone think this is a creepy couple? No one thought it was a creepy couple when Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton were wearing vials of each other's blood. They thought it was a great gesture. And I was like, no, everyone thought it was creepy. Everyone thought it was fucking creepy. So Davey wins with the creeping death finisher. The couple tries to act creepy, but I've seen creepier. JB got on the phone call with She Is Here, and there's a Fire Josh Matthews sign behind him, which may be a plant, maybe not.
Yep.
But hey, Josh, if JB says you don't, and then JB's like, you're not going to like it, and Josh is like, then who is it? And I'm like, then I wouldn't care if I'm not going to like it. I'm like, that's how people react to Trump news these days. Why care? I'm not going to like it. I'm going to be pissed off by it. Why do I care? So LAX has a club now, which looks like the former club that they had with the Aces and Eights.
I was going to say, yeah, Aces and Eights. Anyone?
Yeah. So Conan basically is getting back at Impact because the Hardys stole his Crash titles, which makes no fucking sense. Why go after the guy? Why not go after the guys who have your belts and not the company who basically had their belts sunk out of existence?
Yep.
Yeah, so it made no sense. But we did learn the girl's name was Diamante.
Diamante.
We still don't know who the two guys are, but we'll find that out later. LVN still drunk in her wedding dress and take a shower. And she says, I got pictures of all these kids with me and Laura, from me and Braxton. And it's like, you want to see them? Well, I don't have them because they don't exist.
No, really?
And then Sienna's like, Allie took everything from you. Not me or Maria. And I'm like, it's been several weeks since Maria's gone. Stop mentioning her name. So, and Sienna has a special prize for Allie and Braxton, and she recommends that Laurel take a shower. Preach.
Oh, the white dress.
Yeah.
Her singing Annie.
Yeah. And the sun will come out tomorrow. Yeah. So, we have a 6-man tag match where 3 of the guys we've never heard of in Idris Abraham, Falaba, and Mario Baccara. I'm sure you may have heard of some of them, but...
I don't know if I've heard of these 3.
But, yeah, they basically said Falaba and Mario Baccara are the Monster Factory Tag Team Champions.
Now, I do know the Monster Factory, the training school in New Jersey. I do know that.
Yeah. They were basically a tag team champions from that. Justin, and then this all gets pissed away when Josh asks what the hell the Monster Factory is. Of course, their opponents are Shira, Laredo Kid, and Garza Jr., and they say Spud is earning his paycheck as a ring announcer. And I'm like, I guess.
Gotta do something with him. Rex wasn't at these tapings.
Yeah, and Falaba, I do gotta remember Mini Yokozuna.
Yokozuna.
I do gotta say that. Or he looks like the fucking Baymax from, that movie. Goddamn, I forget what his name is. Oh well. I'm sure someone will kill me for not mentioning the movie. Forgetting the movie's name. Oh, Big Hero 6, that's what it was. So, you don't have to kill me, I got it. Baccara looks like basically Oni Lorcan had a child with either Blake or Murphy.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And this match was nothing. Shearer basically won for his team with Sky High, while the other 2 guys did flips. Other noticeable thing was, Garza Jr.'s gimmick is in the middle of the match, he strips off his jeans, his pants, in the middle of the match. Because. So, we got a limousine that looked like a van, but it was more limo enough to be actually limo. And we had a bodyguard.
You don't get to see anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, time for Decay versus Reno Scum, and they mentioned that Decay wanted to use the loophole of getting the tag titles from Space and Time, but they weren't allowed to. So, oi, oi, oi! Yep, and oi is even in the fucking theme of Reno Scum. You're making this too fucking
easy. It's a man's
show
for some reason.
Yeah. So, even Josh says to Pope, explain Reno Scum to me. Oi, oi. That's how he says it. I'm like, even Pope listens to this show. Or it's as if, yeah. Oi, 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 oi. Josh pretends that he and Ric Flair worked the territories.
Didn't happen.
Crazy Steve licked the dude. Josh says that's unsanitary, and yes, it is unsanitary, but the Bushwhackers did that years ago, so Rosemary missed...
They licked little kids on the way to the ring. That's weird.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we might need to call child services on those guys. They're licking kids. Ew.
Whoa.
They're stranger danger. So, anyway. Rosemary goes for the mist, misses it, hits Crazy Steve instead, and cool finisher that Reno Scum has, but Decay gets looked like jobbers here.
Yep.
So, yeah. Next, Moose defends against Eli Drake. I was rooting for Eli Drake to get the title, but we get an interview with Bruce Pritchard and Franklin also. Don West is still here. I guess he won't be getting away from the company anytime soon, since he's now selling TNA merchandise. And what do we have? Fury will be unleashed, Force 617.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. It's Congo Kong, people. And they changed it this week to Force 1517. It's Congo fucking Kong. That's who it is. It's some big dude that looks like a mixture of Abdullah the Butcher and
Umaga?
I wasn't going to say Umaga. I was going to say the Missing Link.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What's wrong with... Okay, I gotta stop. Congo Kong is a former multi-time guest of one of our shows, the Undisputed Wrestling Show. I'm personally friends with him on Facebook. What's wrong with Congo Kong?
They're saying, but they're making him out to be the big spoiler, the big surprise of this all, and I don't think getting a guy who's basically unknown to be the big surprise is not really something that should be happening.
I don't know. I think Congo would be great. Just me. I'm biased, though.
He may be a fine wrestler. I don't know. Although from the pictures I've seen him in, I've only seen pictures of him, and they're not quite friendly.
I think he faced Dalton Castle in a match, and I think he had the match with Moose.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm sorry. It's Congo Kong. So let's deal with the spoilers out of the way. That it's Fury will be unleashed. It's Congo Kong. And they basically kind of Sienna, yeah, which they basically gave away in the next show.
I think you'll be impressed with Congo.
I'm sure I've seen him in Ring of Honor a couple of times.
I'm sure maybe I'll be impressed with him. Although the last person I was given was Marty Bell, and I was not impressed with her. So Marty was good, and then I saw her, and I was like, no. So time for the Grand Championship match, title match, or non-title match, as Spud didn't say it was a title match, but announcers say titles was on the line. Cody was in the limo. He also has his bullet jacket on and attacks Moose in the entranceway. So match doesn't happen. Eli Drake doesn't get his title shot.
Boo.
Crowd thought that was too sweet, though. And Josh wants pictures of Moose in Japan. I think TNA can actually give you video and photos, and give you both. Maybe you can ask your bosses. Oh, and then JB's like, she was in the limo too. And I'm like, maybe we should ask her relationship with Cody then, since Cody was also in the limo. Maybe we should ask that.
Contractual negotiation.
I don't know, but yeah, maybe we should ask that. But LAX invades Impact, and also took the Aces and Eights entrance as well.
And they beat the DCC.
Yeah, we find out the guys' names are Ortiz and Santana.
Angel Ortiz and Mike Drest, or Santana, I guess.
Yeah, as they're calling him, Santana. Yeah, Bram and James Storm were the tag team. They said, we got to keep our eyes out for Kingston of the DCC. And I'm like, I count three people on the other side. So he should be pretty well taken care of. And another Don West commercial, and man, I wish he was on commentary.
Good God.
Over these three. I would take any, although, either JB or Josh. Put Don West in there. We'd have a better show.
It's Pope and Don West screaming for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Should have
hit him with a souffle.
Souffle. So, DCC are wrestling faces in this match, which is weird. Mm-hmm. And Kingston fucks up according to the announcers, but we didn't see it because guess what? The cameraman panned somewhere else.
Damn it, cameraman.
The fucking production. I was told production would be better, but nope, apparently not. We didn't see it.
Cameraman's got ADD.
Yeah, no, it was shot to a different camera. Nope, I thought told production would be better.
Nope.
Same TNA bullshit. And second week in a row, DCC screws up. The last DCC screw up was 2 weeks ago, according to your how the things were done on your shows, according to how you aired them.
Yes.
So, anyways, James Storm and Kingston have issues. Kingston shoves him, and they're about to come to blows, but Bram tries to cool things down, and Storm leaves and may have quit.
I quit.
So earlier this week, Pritchard interviews Franklin, and all I can say is, wow, Franklin acted like a babyface.
Yep.
Throughout most of this. This was not Franklin the heel saying he was better than everyone. This was him saying, I'm coming.
Like MVP.
Yeah. He said basically he does extraordinary things. He's an ordinary guy that does extraordinary things. Yet they talk about all things he's done in his career, including train for the Olympic train team. And he says, is that what makes you the greatest athlete in the world? And he says, it separates me from everyone else. Which basically means he doesn't think he's the greatest thing on earth, but he's unique.
Yep.
Yeah, another make Impact great promo with DJZ, more BS on how the future will be great, but they do talk about that the X Division's great too. So during the commercial break, it was announced that Moose and Cody will be for the title next week.
We'll talk about that later.
Still upset that Eli Drake doesn't get an opportunity, but Impact doesn't care.
Ah.
So Braxton, they ask Braxton about Sienna's threats, and Braxton's like, look, I love this woman. I will die for this woman.
Oh.
So, yeah, good babyface promo. Rebel's back.
For no reason at all. At least she's not facing,
she was back
Shelly
on
Martinez.
this week too. Yeah, thank God no Shelly Martinez. Josh is like, not the shit I was talking about, but, and then her opponent is ODB.
Who's also back, and they pop huge. Everyone pops huge.
Yeah.
And this is comedy.
And then ODB says she's a classy broad while giving Rebel a Bronco Buster. And Rebel keeps threatening the ref. Rebel keeps threatening to slap Earl Hebner.
And they make out for some reason.
No, actually, Earl Hebner forces himself on Rebel.
Sexual harassment.
And then ODB forces himself on Earl.
That's more sexual harassment. Who's TNA's human resources people?
And then ODB wins with a crappy TKO. And I call a fraud to this entire thing. This should have been DQ'd early. Where's the anonymous general manager to reverse this one like he did WrestleMania 27 with Cole and Lawler?
Does TNA have human resources? Because there's a whole lot of harassment in this match.
I know, yeah. Whole lot of sexual harassment. Final opinion on this match was Schadenfreude. And next is Franklin in action, but we get more of the interview, and this really, really was the most babyface thing they talked about. He talks about how we entered the pro wrestling world. He said, it was going to be my year. 2004 Olympics, it's going to be my year. I was going to be in the Olympics, but a year before that, I go to the bank. I go to the fucking bank to get some money and stuff, and then these assholes come in. And I basically got shot and turned my head, and basically they told me that I turned my head, and if I hadn't, I would have gotten shot in the head, brain splattered everywhere. I would have been dead, at least brain dead.
But you're making your top heel into a face here.
And basically, a bank robbery the year before, which, by the way, I did check. This is true. This did happen. This legit did happen. He falls down and shatters his knee. Because he gets knocked over. Yeah, he falls down, shatters his knee. So, and he asks, so you lost your chance. Do you have a chip on your shoulder? He's like, I didn't consider it beforehand, but yeah, I do have a chip on my shoulder. I know what I'm capable of, and I won't let anyone take anything from me ever again. And I'm like, holy shit. Why is this guy not a babyface? Why didn't WWE basically do this? Cut this, talk about this. I would have stomached his ECW title reign a little more. This came out.
I don't know.
That he truly got fucked over, man. God damn.
He was going to be in the Olympics.
He was going to be in the Olympics. He thought it was his time, man.
And he got shot.
He got shot, and as he was falling, his knee shattered.
You baby-faced your top heel.
Yeah, Franklin. And basically, he comes out to fight some jobber named Jake Holmes. And basically, even though Franklin's got to act like a heel here by trying to kill this guy, he's killing this guy, and I'm like, he just destroys him, and I'm like, I know you're trying to act heelish, but not working.
They just sold you. They just babyfaced the guy in the interview all night.
Yeah, they babyfaced him. They made him look like a complete nice guy.
Why would you air that for your top heel without him being a heelish?
Yeah, you gotta have him act like a heel. I know this was supposed to seem like a podcast kind of thing, but
it did it wrong.
God, it just basically sells. It's like a podcast, yes, and she's coming out next, and crikey, it's Karen Raptor. Crikey. The Karen Raptor is back, and boy, is her music a mess.
It's a mixture of Aerosmith's Ragdoll and frickin' Jarrett's theme.
Or a mixture of Jeff Jarrett's music and Hot Mess.
A mixture of 3 songs.
Yeah. God
it's
damn.
A hot mess.
It's a mess. So, a lot of revisionist history of how important Karen Raptor was to the company. She was a mere footnote. Let me be honest about her. She was a mere footnote to the company, and a bit annoying one at that.
And here comes E3.
No, and 5 words in, she basically pisses me off to no end, and here's the rant. She says, my family created this company, started this company.
You're a liar.
Bullshit.
You're a liar.
Just like Brandy doesn't have the rose blood in her, you don't get to talk about your family starting this. I'm going to tell you a little, let's just say some guy marries your grandmother after your grandfather dies. Put that in the theory. If he tried to act like your grandfather, you'd be insulted. Even if he had to deal with his death of his wife, you'd be insulted. Karen Raptor, insulted everything. She popped up when Jarrett was down in the dumps. And you know what? Merely there to pick up the pieces. Not that that's a bad thing, because that needs to happen. You do wish people are there to fix things. Bottom line, you're the wrestler of wife one wrestler, which is how you got in the first place. And then you married another wrestler to get in, to be this position right now. Oh, by the way, you have blonde hair, so I guess that was your ticket to get on TV. I want on TV. Jeff can't, since you can't be on TV. Okay, but you gotta have my blonde hair. Yeah. Okay, after that whole bullshit. Karen Raptor says she wants to give the answers they want, but that was the old her. But the new her is going to take the high road.
Wait, what were those answers?
She's not going to give about where she's been in the past, about what's been going on, and all that. She's taking the high road. Okay, here's some of the other things. She said, when they did the Fire Josh thing, and she said, I'll put it on my list.
Stolen gimmick,
yes. And the crowd did a yes and thank you, Karen.
Oh, shut up.
And I'm just asking for Josh to get in the ring and basically tell this bitch off. But EC3 comes out. EC3 says he's going to make Impact great again. I was doing it, but I guess we got to do it again. So I'm going to make Impact great again. I'm ready for duty to be on the front line of this thing. But I'm going to make Impact great for you, not for your last name, but for mine.
Kind of a heel thing. Kind of.
After Karen's little spiel, I was fine with what he said. He needed to put her basically in her. And Josh is on the mic and basically calls Karen Raptor the evil tyrant queen. The evil tyrant queen is returned. And I'm like, feels good to be back, doesn't it, Karen? Feels good to. Then you put JB in the announce team. Bruce Pritchard, who I thought was dead and I hoped was dead. Dutch Mantel, who I like Dutch. But Dutch is like 200 years old. And the fans are like, shut up. And Josh is like, you all came here free. So you shut up. And
Bury your crowd. Good work.
by the way, they had to cut that out because he said, you came here to free because you couldn't afford tickets to NXT.
Bury
They had to
your
cut out the
fans.
NXT.
Good
They had to
work.
cut out the NXT thing.
Tremendous.
So he said, you can't afford tickets, so shut up. Yeah, basically they had to cut that out because that was bullshit, what he said. I'm sorry, Josh. He says, my problem ain't with the EC3. My problem ain't with any of these people. My problem's with you. You aren't here to... I'm like, I'm just here to help. I'm like, you ain't here to help. Do you know who my wife is? Of course not, you don't. My wife has forgotten more about the Knockouts division than you will ever know.
She's also been forgotten pretty much at this
She's
point.
a 5-time Knockouts champion. So he basically... It won't be long before it will be gone forever.
Slap.
Basically, both goes, oh! And Karen tells her to keep the family name out of his mouth.
Terrific.
And it really, that final segment could just fuck off.
Double D for what Karen has. Anyway. Next
Show. Well, we ended with Karen Raptor
We
last
have a
week.
backstage meeting segment.
We gotta start off with JB and Josh being annoying while both Pritchard and freaking Dutch Mantel are like, oh, God help us.
They're like the
Raptor
the
comes in like,
principal or something.
hey, I want to meet Sienna in the ring. Can you use that as like, hey, Tom, do that.
Also, Josh Matthews uncomfortably too close to Dutch.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And JB and them annoying, and both guys are like, ugh. So
why are we stuck doing this?
Here comes Karen Raptor.
Ugh.
And more bullshit. She comes to the ring and says, you know what, I did fire Josh on the agenda, but there was something more important. Actually, one of the things Bruce Pritchard said was, you both keep this up, you'll both be gone.
Oh boy, that means Pope can call us over 2 hours.
And so get someone else. And she's like, so
Madison
apparently
Rain can call us over 2 hours.
Sienna has been bullying Pete in the Impact locker room since Maria left.
I want proof.
By the way, we haven't seen her doing this.
We've seen her bully Allie a little bit, but not the rest of the
We've
lot.
seen her one segment where she said Allie and Brax, she was talking to LVN.
And
that was it.
Trying to get back for her friends in Barrett. That's not bullying, that's fine.
That's revenge. It's not bullying. But first of all, Karen Jarrett talk about bullying, other people bullying, is hogwash. And it's like, who are your sources? And she's like, that's none of your business. And I'm like, oh, it is my business.
You have no source.
I think it's Allie who told me that you were bullying people.
She said it's none of her business, which means she probably didn't have
got
support.
my way to the top of this company. I didn't have to sleep my way to the top.
Ah.
And she said, you know what? You don't get to say, you don't know me. And I'm like, oh, I think she does. And then Karen Raptor, who said, I'm not a fan of bullying, goes on and says she regrets a lot of things she did, not showing it. So she's given Sienna an opportunity, 15 seconds to apologize, and acts like a fucking bully.
Or like an angry mother.
And basically does it, and then cowers when this big dude shows up, who's KM, Sienna's husband, who's pissed and yells at, browbeats Karen Jarrett down. My family deserve the respect they deserve. I'm going to now you the countdown to apologize. 15, and Karen's like, you. Karen is Raptor is the bully here. Bullying someone, even though they're better than you, bullying someone, and then when their family member comes along who's more intimidating and is telling it right back to your face, you cower like a coward, which is what she did. I know you are. So it's like, shut up, Karen. And I'm like, thank you. So KM, Braxton Sutter and Allie come out. He chases away Sienna and KM, and Karen Raptor decides to get back on her high horse and say, you want to bully me? I'm making a match between you and Sienna tonight.
You and Braxton.
You and Braxton tonight! KM, you versus Braxton tonight! So I'm like, not a good start for this show. Karen's acted heel. KM and Sienna are the faces with attitude, and man, the other two guys just basically are stooges. The guy and the woman are. Oh, by the way, KFC, you don't get to talk to a woman like that. And like, remember, you admitted once you had giant male genitalia. I have big balls around here. Yeah, you did admit that once. So, yeah, you don't get to get away from this, Karen. Raptor, sorry. This opening segment was garbage.
Ugh. They have X Division action as our first match.
Well, they're trying to say why they'll make Impact great again, and then we got a singles match for the X Division. Oh my God. DJZ and
on the show.
Everett. Oh, a singles match between X Division guys. We don't have multi-man clusterfuck.
Trying to put over Everett, and they did a bad job of it, actually.
By the way, Everett needs new music.
They had Everett win with a fluke.
By a small package, because he countered the ZDT.
Yep.
And here comes Helms and Lee to basically say, hey, look, the guy won a match. It's not often he wins a match, but he won a match. His victories, he's got like a streak now. A one-win streak. And Helms is like, you know what? Out of my goodness of my heart, you'll get an opportunity next week.
Opportunity at what? We're not sure.
Yeah. And an opportunity.
He already had two at Trevor Lee, by the way.
Yeah, he's already had 2 title shots, by the way, at Trevor Lee. Lost them both.
You need to freshen up the X Division a little bit.
I know. Although Everett did get screwed in both of those.
Yeah, he did, but he still had 2 matches.
Yeah. Rosemary's knockout, but that's a little harder. That's a little easier to swallow than somebody who got beat twice into clean, like Jade did. Jade got beat clean twice, and then asked for the knockouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at least a little less offensive than somebody getting beat clean twice.
Yeah.
I want a rematch. You lost twice. Go to the back.
Yeah. No.
Or EC3 doing it multiple times.
Yeah. Next is Rosemary's Knockout Burial Celebration, which is what they called it. You could have done that with Gail Kim several times. That's what she did. That's what the beautiful
She did it in a worse way than Rosemary did.
I know. Rosemary comes out. Basically, she goes, it's like, I retired Gail Kim, wrecked Brandy Rhodes' life, and beat the color out of Jade.
And here comes ODB.
Better, every other knockout better stay in the back, or you will decay. Decay. So, Rosemary basically says there's no one left. By the way, like Rosemary's new contacts, by the way. She has contacts on. I can see that. That make her look like having white eyes.
Uh-huh. I didn't notice that.
So yeah, here comes ODB. ODB introduces herself, says she's won the belt 4 times, and says Rosemary wouldn't be here if it weren't for women like her. By the way, she calls herself 4-time knocked up champion.
Boo, your puns are bad.
Yeah. So
terrible.
He's like, ODB gets out of the ring, says you're not worthy. The Hive agrees that you're not worthy. You think you're worthy, the Hive, and I think you're not. So she tries to leave. The other women come out like Kate, the one she beat up, Casey.
Randy Rhodes,
Madison Rain, Rebel, Diamante.
So we have 5 women, including ODB.
Yeah, so basically, as they called it, all the knockouts.
There's probably a couple others hanging out back there.
Yeah. So basically, Madison Rain says, I've got the 5-time champion. My husband's right there. Mention that. And then, basically, Brady comes up with the bullet.
Big gauntlet for next week.
She's like, the bullet with the bullshit. She's like, I beat your bowl games. I'm still here. I'd like my title shot, please.
And she has a valid claim to a title shot, actually.
Not really. She didn't pin the champ. No, she didn't. Moose won the pinned Crazy Steve in that match.
Oh, I thought you were talking Madison Rayne.
Madison Rayne, maybe. Brandy Rhodes, no.
No, Brandy doesn't have a claim to anything. She's not ready yet.
Yeah, ODB may have a claim because she won a match. Diamante says she's ready to fight. Everybody starts fighting.
And we have a gauntlet next week.
Yeah, and every ODB chases Rosemary off.
It's clear they're setting up for that match eventually.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're setting up that. We get Impact Wrestlers talking fantasy baseball.
Yay.
And then Don West hawking the new Impact t-shirt.
Please buy our shit.
And then, by the way, we had to get Josh and JB arguing, and Josh calling JB ham and eggers slap nuts.
Thanks, Bobby Heenan.
It said slap nuts also.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. So they're arguing, and Pope's like, guys, we got to keep things on the level here. Again, here comes EC3. And EC3 apologized for the things he said to Karen. I got a little worked up there.
Why?
Why did you need to apologize? You said nothing. You said you were going to do it for yourself, not her.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
Perfectly
You didn't.
fine.
Yeah, you didn't put her down or anything.
No, Josh put her down later.
Yeah.
Deservedly so. But
Yeah.
put her down.
So he says he's two-time champion. That puts me on the same level of wrestlers who are phenomenal, which was the second time they mentioned AJ Styles because they mentioned him as the first X-Division champion. They mentioned me in an It Factor, puts me on that line, and puts me against the current champion, Franklin.
Which he's had about 5 shots in him in the last 6 months.
And he's like, I'm ready to be EC3 time champion. And here comes James Storm to no music.
And no DCC, which was what I was expecting.
And says, why wasn't my name mentioned? And it's like,
and
dude.
EC3 with the burn of the night. Because I was talking about multiple champions.
I was kind of talking about multiple champions here. That's why your name wasn't mentioned.
Multiple time champions.
Well,
I'm like, that's a good burn.
Yeah, that was good. And James Storm's like, I was an original. Where were you? I was in high school.
So was I.
Yeah, it was like, so I was graduating from high school. When I formed,
I walked arcade against Elix Skipper. Where were you?
Elix Skipper was a pretty crazy thing Elix did. Where were you? And he was like, I was in college with my frat buddies, probably doing some stupid shit with them.
No, that was another thing. But he was saying that I thought that was incredibly dangerous.
I was drinking and probably thought that was incredible. That was incredibly dangerous.
And when then we just get the self-grandizing with all the crowd.
AMW, where were you? I was committing a frat.
Being a frat boy.
I was doing some stupid shit. I was drinking beer and making money.
And this is where I was working for another company.
No, he didn't say that, but he said, I was probably drinking and making and spending money.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. These two guys really did work well off each other.
They didn't. Oh, did they?
No, they did. They worked well together, yeah. And then they grandized the crowd and basically said, I think
we're going to let them choose.
Please let them choose. And they're like, I wonder how El Patron feels about this.
We'll see him next week.
But they basically rile up the fans and said, I'm confident they'll make the right decision.
I'm sure they will too.
So then they talk about this is funny, then they talk about the upcoming, the next match, and interrupted by a segment highlighting Laredo Kid and Garza Jr.
Whoops,
yep, production again. I thought production was better. And we're ready to have the fans start throwing money at us. I don't think fans do that.
At least not in America.
No, not in America.
We have rules against that.
No. We have rules against throwing other things. Money they'll accept. So then we got a segment to hype up Reno Scum. And all you guys... Oi. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah.
So,
And we get probably the only good match on the show. Well, tag titles aside.
Actually, no, Reno Scub said the money. We're tired of people throwing trash at us. Which translation is, and we're ready to throw money. Folks to start throwing money instead of trash. Basically, oi, 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 oi. It wasn't Laredo Kid Garza Jr. who said that. It was Reno Scum. So, get the dollar bills, get the money. So it's time for the grand title match between Moose and Commander Cody, they played the Cody's theme correct this time.
That's fine. Cody super kicked somebody. One of the judges. Which brings out Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah. One of the judges got super kicked in the first round. It was an accident, but here comes Bruce Pritchard, and Josh is like, and Josh does bring up a good point that Moose didn't really beat Drew for the belt. He didn't really. I thought Drew won that match, but it was close.
Drew was also leaving.
Yeah. So Judge wins down. We got to go to commercial break to give him a chance to make the score. Then we get LAX gear being sold by Don West, saying that he's, and then Bruce
selling earrings to probably a male-dominated audience.
Yeah. Bruce Pritchard named the third judge, and the first round goes to Moose. I disagree with that ruling of the first round. But after the super kick spot, what could you blame him?
Yep.
So round 2, commentary is shit for this round, arguing with each other, and basically Cody wins round 2. Which, by the way, interesting thing, Moose is the champion here, and he's got a steel chair, and the only reason he doesn't whack Cody with it is because Brandy's in the way, telling him not to, and they're like, "Oh, Cody's hiding behind a woman." I'm like, "What?
What?
He's got a steel chair." He's gonna if he hits him with that chair, that would be a DQ, wouldn't it?
Unless the rules work differently somehow.
Yeah. What the hell? Or he loses a point. He loses a fucking point off the steel chair.
Oh, commentary logic, how we love it.
Yeah, the faces were basically being idiots here. They were, and and Josh was being the smart one here. Like, guys, he had a chair. He was going to hit him with the chair. So, basically, Cody wins round 2 because he kicked the chair onto Moose, which Moose probably deserved. Says he had the fucking chair. Mm-hmm. And then we go to round 3, and noticeably, the Cody chants are louder than the Moose ones. Which they want Commander Cody to win more, even though he's the heel.
And he's probably not coming back for the next set of tapings.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe not. Who knows? He went to kiss his wife. His wife says, "You all both acting like idiots. I'm out of here. You both can kill each other for all I care."
And there's a bleep in there somewhere, too, for some reason.
Oh, by the way, they set up they do a third thing behind it. No, that would happen afterwards. Moose win. Moose wins in. This was a close round. This really was a good match. Don't let me tell you it wasn't.
No, it was a good match.
It was a good match. Don't let me tell you that. Don't let you think
that.
As
with most of these Grand Championship matches, all the rules and the judges and stuff hinders it.
Yeah, Brandy said you both can kill each other for all they're worth, and they started wrestling again, and Cody delivered a beautiful disaster kick, which was the only real move of the match. And of course, Moose retains.
Yay!
Bullshit. Cody delivers the only move, so Moose wins.
By a referee decision.
By split decision. And then they hype up the Wolves breakup, which I hear they call on YouTube the Broken Wolves.
Boom.
Off.
And that sets up the match for next week, Last Man Standing.
Yeah, next week, the Last Man Standing match. And by the way, later Josh is like, "Oh, I got special news. They're the Last Man Standing match." And I'm like, we already were told this.
Way to pay attention.
Then we get the Eli Drake Make Impact Great segment. And he basically...
How about you put him on TV more?
he acts normal. He says, we got a great stuff and all this, but, and then he acts heelish like, I'm above everyone else. But I'm above everyone else. So, Karen Rafter comes down to give JB stuff, and basically, the thing is that there's a Knockouts Battle Gauntlet coming next week.
Yay.
And it's time for KM versus Braxton Sutter.
Oh, look.
Not much of a fucking match, although I did like KM's finisher, which is a Project Ciampa.
Yep, the powerbomb into the backbreaker.
Yeah.
And then we have a brawl at the end, and Braxton and
Laurel Van Ness is acting crazy, and people are like, how does she keep getting alcohol? And I'm like, Dixie
ODB's in the back.
Yeah, ODB's in the back. Maybe she found Dixie Carter's wine fault. Because Lord knows she needed a drink during a lot of
Dixie
these
Disney.
Yeah. So we get an LAX segment talking about how they need to win this match, make sure no one interferes. Angel, you need to win the Knockouts title.
Minette, not Angel.
Diamante. Sorry, Diamante and Ortiz and Santana. You two need to win the tag belts.
Yep, and that brings us to our main event.
Yeah, it brings us to our main event, but first we get the revised 4:15:17, but it's freaking Congo Kong, so.
4:13.
4:13, whatever.
Yeah, 2 weeks from the show that is there.
Okay, which is bullshit because I think it's the show that is next week's. Really, they changed it.
Yep.
So 4-way title match, and this match was a freaking schmoz, a mess.
Well, you got 4 teams. One of them's gonna fly around. One of them's maybe somewhat handicapped in Reno Scum.
Oi, 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 oi. Basically, there are a few spots here that they go for spots. Basically, there is a point where LAX tags in one of the guys from Reno Scum, and then they attack him. And I'm like, you tagged him in! You tagged
they suckered him in.
He's not the legal guy! But they figure out that, oh yeah, Laredo Kid's the legal guy. We gotta they win off him with their finisher. So, this match was a mess. I gotta give it a D.
Yep.
I know you gave it a C-, but...
A little better than last week's show.
It's probably why you gave it a C-.
Yeah.
I gave it a D, because, yeah, it was better than last week's show, but it still sucked. It still was not good. And, do you have anything to sell?
Not this week.
This Saturday, because I expected the induction to be done last Saturday, but this Saturday I will post the induction to Time Walker.
Uh-huh.
Because, yeah, I've been having an MS attack, which affected my hands, my mouth, my balance, affected a lot of things. My face, basically half my face was basically screwed. I know it did not look like Bell's palsy.
I was gonna say, I think that's multiple sclerosis and not...
Yeah, that's a multiple sclerosis, yeah. That is part of multiple sclerosis, too, is your face gets fucked up at times. So, yeah, last week I could not really speak. I really was slurring my words. I was doing not injections, IV steroids.
Not a lethal injection.
Not a lethal injection and not fucking steroids up the ass. Not an anabolic steroids. I had to get the shit on my arm.
Yep.
Intravenously because I was messed up.
Yes.
So I'm fixed now for the most part. You may notice a little bit of a mix-up, but I'm getting better. I'm almost completely better.